What time is it?
Game time! Woo!
And just returning out here as like my fellow colleague Kenneth Davis would say, coming out of COVID formation right now. Yes, sir. We are back in business right now. A lot of people, so much more relief economically to see things coming back into fold right now. Man, just a sad, heartbreaking when we look at everything right now. I mean, the past 15 months, the shutdowns with everything. I mean, worrying about the mutations of where this virus was going to go. Just give everyone a heads up real quick. I have taken the first of my vaccinations back end of May. I got one more scheduled this Thursday. I'll be going to my Costco's near my gym. So I'll be getting the second half of my vaccination, the Moderna shot right now. Once again, folks, not to promote any side business, but just be on the safe side. I pray everyone continues to come out, stay healthy, and get back to not only a fresh start, but some normalcy, but a fresh start more or less. My best advice to anyone right now, if you're having any doubts, go to the doctor, do a basic health screening, see what they say, see if it's absolutely recommended. And like I said, don't feel pressured, but I will ask you, how do you want to continue to live your lives right now during these times? Do you want to be able to go out? And if you're not vaccinated and you need to wear a mask, I'm sorry, you need to wear a mask. Or if you want to live relaxed and a little bit more ease of mind, obviously do your research, but I would trust getting the shot. It's a preventative at the end of the day. Nothing's going to be guaranteed. But I definitely do believe right now that you want the best chances of keeping yourself safe as possible, and we'll continue to do that. So right now, we're going to NBA fast break right now. The Phoenix Suns actually just took care of the defending Nuggets right now. The Denver Nuggets, who a year ago at this point, they made it as far to the Western Conference Finals in the bubble playoffs last September, and were eliminated by the Lakers in that series in 5 games. And right now, when you look at everything right now, too, including by like the head coach, too, Michael Malone, who's actually basically calling out his own team, saying that he was looking at a team who did not want it at all versus another team who did. And to be honest with you right now, Nikola Jokic right now, congratulations to him on earning NBA MVP honors right now. Give credit to my man, Kenneth Davis from That's Davis Show. As we look as the NBA awards were announced last week right now. And right now, he becomes the first player out of Serbia right now to win this award. And not only that, too, he becomes the 5th player, too, or excuse me. Yeah, the 5th player outside the U.S. to win this award. And those people are Akeem the Dream Olajuwon back in 1994 when he did with the Houston Rockets. Not only winning Most Valuable Player that year, but went on to win the NBA championship. You had Tim Duncan's of the U.S. Virgin Islands right there, too. I mean, considered the U.S. territory, but still technically outside the U.S. It's an island state right there. You also had Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, and Giannis Antetokounpo. So, excuse me, my son Tim Duncan. So it's been Akeem Olajuwon out of Nigeria. Then you also had Steve Nash, who did it back in 2005, winning back-to-back MVPs. Canada, Dirk Nowitzki of Germany, Giannis Antetokounmpo of Greece, and now Nikola Jokic out of Serbia. And congratulations to him right now. Unfortunately, their season ends abruptly right now as they fall victims to a sweep of the Phoenix Suns right now. And I got to tell you right now, uh, going into the series, I definitely felt that going into this, and Jokic definitely deserves the award. But if I were to vote, I definitely felt Chris Paul was the MVP candidate. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's been playing for a hurt shoulder right now going into this. When we look at things collectively here and what's been happening, and you think about what everything's been able to transpire right now, he reunites with his head coach, Maya Williams, who they played a few seasons together as part of the New Orleans Hornets right now. I mean, back in 2010, 2011. And you look at it right now, too. I mean, Chris Paul, I mean, for this season right now, when we look at it, he's scored 16.4 points per game. But at the end of the day, too, when we look at it, I mean, the Phoenix Suns, I mean, for this year, too, when you look at everything, they're one seed higher than the Denver Nuggets, only a game out from first place in the West behind the Utah Jazz. I just feel CP3 was more valuable to his team, to be honest, you. I definitely felt like he deserved it a lot more, to be honest, you. He is a guy who's never won the MVP, 11-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defensive Player, All-Rookie, All-Star MVP, Rookie of the Year back in 05, 06. And right now, you got to really start wondering how many more chances is he going to get? Is time starting to dwindle down on his opportunities? And that's where I really start to look at it right now. And I got my main guy in here, Kimo Sabi, right here. Thanks again for joining right now. Yeah, and definitely like to hear your thoughts. But to be honest with you, Reach the Ruler, I should say, excuse me. But yeah, um, I definitely do feel like at the end of the day right now, what is happening right here, when we look at the situation, you got guys like Devin Booker, too, who's been hitting dagger threes with his team as well. And then not only that, too, I mean, Crawford on this team right now. Remember, I mean, back in the first round, I mean, when he got irked by LeBron James right now, I mean, Jay Crowder right now, he was one of the guys who spoke out against LeBron James and the Lakers and called them phony greens. Whatever. But, I mean, you look who they had to beat right now. I mean, Grant right now, I would still argue if LeBron James and Anthony Davis were fully healthy, because they weren't really at their full strength, to be honest, when these playoffs started. I mean, as far as rhythm wise. I mean, once Davis like injured his groin in game 4, I mean, and then tried to play in game 6, it was just game over for this team. But I think what CP3 has been able to do, how he's been able to like unify his players, bring everybody together, get everybody to watch game film, and just bond together. I think this is a team right now, the Phoenix Suns right now, who's looking to win its first NBA championship in franchise history. I mean, this Suns team at the end of the day has never had any success as far as like bringing home the goods. And the last time they've been to the NBA Finals was back with Charles Barkley's Phoenix Suns, 1993, when they fell short to Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls right there. And you also got to look at the other components that are out there right now. You got Kawhi Leonard of the LA Clippers right now, speaking of which, who are him and his squad with Paul George right now, playoff P. They're down 2-1, trying to make history in their own right to come back from multiple 0-2 series deficits. The difference between this and the first round, they have to do this at home in the first round, but on the road the second time around, winning their 2 games at Staples Center. I mean, right now, I mean, Kawhi Leonard, he does have a player option for this coming season. He could decline that and become an unrestricted free agent if they're not able to get past the second round once again. And you look at it yesterday too. I mean, you looked at like a guy like Don Mitchell who hurt himself yesterday, ankle, versus Utah Jazz yesterday. They definitely got the breaks beat off them. 112. I mean, excuse me, 106, 132 in that squad. But yeah, we'll find out what they're made of right now as they get ready to go to game number 4 at Staples Center with tip-off time scheduled for 9 p.m. I'll be interested to see how Donovan Mitchell is going to be coming out of there into that game. Right now, he is saying that he is good to go for Game 4 after aggravating sore ankle on Saturday. According to the reports, he was favoring the same ankle that kept him out for Game 1 of Utah's first-round series in the playoffs, which also caused him to miss the last 15 games of the regular season. I mean, he was saying this after the game that his ankle was fine, and his coach, Quinn Snyder, echoed the same sentiment as Mitchell about not wanting to risk it given the state of the game. According to Snyder, he could have gotten back in the game, but we're kind of borderline there depending on where the game was. I just felt like it had got to think an 18-point lead with 4 or 5 minutes to play, and it just didn't make sense at that point to pull him back. In fact, we took our other guys out shortly thereafter as well. Now, I definitely agree with that decision 100%. I mean, the bottom line is they took care of business at home versus team. I mean, when you look at, this is the LA Clippers team who was able to withstand a 21-point deficit in game number 2. I mean, basically. But the only thing about that, too, I mean, they went on for like a nice run of their own right there. I mean, back in it. And we'll see what happens. They had a 46-23 run. But right now, I mean, guys like Kawhi Leonard and Ivica Zubac, 4 fouls, 0 rebounds, did not play in the fourth quarter in that game of game number 2. Kawhi Leonard, at the end of the day, when you slice and dice it, no matter how the Clippers are falling apart, or not falling apart, I should just say, just respond more to the adversity, I should say. They don't seem to play well as it continues to mark its ugly head, a team that plays as favorites. I mean, if they do find a way to go ahead, represent the West in the finals, and somehow win their first NBA championship as an LA franchise, listen, I mean, maybe this is just their MO. I mean, maybe this is how you get stuff done. Maybe, just maybe, you know what? This is a team that has to play when they get smacked in the mouth. At the end of the day, Kawhi Leonard is still averaging 30.3 points a game. And you look at that right there. I mean, this is a guy right now who's trying to bring a third NBA championship to a third team right now, trying to join LeBron James, becoming the second player to do that with 3 different teams. He'll be doing this with the Spurs, the Raptors, and hopefully the Clippers, his hometown where he was born in Riverside, where he was born in Los Angeles, California, went to Riverside, California. And the thing is, too, I mean, you look at a guy like Tyronn Lue right now. I mean, a guy who people have been like spying to right now, how he was going to be able to get his team together. I mean, you look at a year ago right now where you had a guy like Doc Rivers, who was the coach of that team for 7 seasons. I mean, just as high as he could to the second round. And apparently that did not work out very well. I mean, he is with the Philadelphia 76ers right now. 76ers, which, by the way, right now, let's see. They're up 2-1 on Atlanta Hawks right now. They'll be having a game tomorrow in Atlanta, 6:30 p.m. Tip-off. And to be honest with you, you know what? I would find it ironic if the 76ers go to the finals and you probably see the Clippers. I'll be honest with you. If I had to pick the finals right now, I'm probably going Jazz and Nets. But who's to say we may not see 76ers versus the Clippers? Doc Rivers' old team. And then what he's doing in Philadelphia. And by the way, congratulations to former Chicago Bulls head coach Tom Thibodeau right there for getting NBA Coach of the Year, by the way, when you look at everything that he's been doing in his illustrious career here. I mean, this guy right here at the end of the day, as we find it, he wins it, I want to say, for the second time since 2011. So he becomes a multiple winner in that regard. Remember, the Knicks had been eliminated, I think, by the Knicks in five. I mean, look, the Knicks have been eliminated by the Hawks in 5-6 games in the first round by Trae Young and company. Got a very good deadly squad of their own right. But I tell you what, right now, too, I mean, one other guy, too, I would probably feel happy for on that 76ers squad I'm looking at is probably Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard right now, let's think about this. A guy, a center who stayed before in the past, way earlier when he was in his prime, when he was Super Dwight, when he was Superman. I mean, perceptually wise. He was one of the key guys who said when he didn't win his championships, he didn't want to be viewed as like, if I didn't win a championship, I mean, that didn't mean I have a great career. But ironically, he comes back to the team who we kind of burned bridges for a moment when Kobe Bryant was around with the Lakers, able to win one this past season, gets his first ring, and now what he's contributing to the 76ers. He's got a chance to win back-to-back titles. Let's keep that in perspective right now. I mean, with those Sixers. And you look at Dwight Howard, I mean, what he's been able to do right now. I mean, he's at the age of 35. He'll be turning 36. I mean, this offseason, I mean, on December 8th, averaging 7 points a game. But still, I mean, if there's one guy, I mean, you can't help but see good things happen for late in his career. Definitely Dwight Howard. And it couldn't be any more ecstatic for him in his own right as well. So we'll take a look at it right there in just a moment here, but I definitely want to get your guys' thoughts right now as we look at it. And then you also got the Bucks and the Nets right now. Bucks have evened up the series versus Nets right now. You got James Harden right now, who's been having an injured hamstring right now. And according to reports right now on ESPN.com, according to Malika Andrews, James Harden is making strides in his bid to return from a hamstring injury. Coach Steve Nash have Game 4 in Milwaukee against the Bucks on Sunday. Nash said that Harden is doing on-court work, shooting rehabilitation. I said that who Harden injured his hamstring in Game 1 last Saturday is progressing in the right direction right now. And the Brooklyn Nets, who actually another team withstood a 21-point lead, only still lose in game number 3. I mean, today's contest here. that just happened on ABC/ESPN. I mean, once again, we saw Giannis and Chris Middleton combine. I mean, they combined for 53 points. You also had Justin Holiday, I want to say it is. No, Drew Holiday, excuse me. He added 14 points right here in this contest. And the Milwaukee Bucks right now, I mean, you kind of had like an opportunity with Harden with the hamstring injury. Giannis Antetokounmpo right now has got to be thinking it's now or never at this point to start, getting what he deserves. He is in his 8th season right now. He's been to 5 consecutive All-Star games. You look at his size, what he's able to do, how he's able to score. But is he going to be another guy right now in his career where he's a phenom, he's a species, but he's not that guy that carries his team to a championship? He was able to sign a Supermax deal, and that's where we have that. So I don't know, but for right now, NBA Finals predictions as of right now, I'm going to go with Nets and Jazz. If it's not the Jazz, I will go probably the Clippers. Because to be honest with you, if the Clippers have to face the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals, which the Suns are awaiting the winner of the Clippers and Jazz, I'm going to tell you right now, if it comes down to those two, I'll go with the Clippers. And I hate saying that. Coming from a guy who's also a Laker fan as well. But the Clippers right now, they've been showing a lot of resilience that is undeniable right now. And Rajon Rondo, who's been doing a beautiful job, being the intricate piece as a point guard with Tyronn Lue, maybe, just maybe, Clippers deliver a title to Los Angeles right now as a Clipper franchise. We'll find out. All right, well, we're getting ready to hit this break right now. Coming back out of it, I'm going to wrap up here with some NFL extra points. Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears right now, making all the right impressions so far with coaches and players. How does that translate onto the field? And then also, too, former Steeler running back, find out who his beef is with. You're watching and listening to On Deck. With me, Charles Bryant, Richey. Don't move a muscle.
He's got it. That's a winner.